Hi, you've reached Prophetess Chastity Daniel with your Prophetess Thought of the Day, Live by the Sword, Part 2. Now, when it comes to murder, I can understand self defense. There are situations where people get in life or death threatening positions and they have to protect themselves. And I know people like that are out now who have murdered, and it was self defense. I understand if accidents happen. I know people who the gun went off. I remember being younger and people, uh, some guys, they were playing with guns as people do, which they should not do. And a murder occurred. And that's another story. But people who are out here and are just killing for no reason, I will never understand how a person who has no power to bring life into the world thinks they have the power to take a life from the world. And God has a problem with that. Now, here's the thing, just like these people, or let me say this, or for jealousy reasons, you're jealous of the person, you want them killed, or she slept with your husband and you decide she's got to go, you're going to kill her and take her out of the way. Or there's been situations where I like his chain, I like his shoes, or he looks like he's got some money, or I hear he's got a business, he's got this, he's got that. I'm going to go in his house and rob him and kill him. I'm going to take his car and carjack him and kill him. Uh, or she, I was bullying her and she beat me up. She got the best of me, so now I'm going to get my gun and I'm going to murder her. I know situations of that, even with females shooting each other. Guys, he stepped on my toe or he beat me up in a fight that really I instigated. And so since he got the best of me, I'm going to go get my gun. I'm going to shoot up the neighborhood. And generally, these types of people can't shoot, have had no real practice. They just have a gun. And so these guys are shooting up everybody, kids, turtles, birds, fish, everybody but that person or innocent bystanders. Those are the types of murderers God has a problem with. Now, let me say this. If they come to God and repent, you can be forgiven of everything. Repent means don't do it again. Repent means, God, I'm sorry. I repent. You don't do it again. But here's the thing. You're still going to reap what you have sown. And this is what we don't get. Even when you come into Christ, there's been seeds planted for many years or right now or whenever, because there are believers who go out and do these things. They say they saved, but he made me mad. You can repent, you can be forgiven, but the seed is already planted. There is a law of reciprocity, the law of sowing and reaping, and it applies to all things. What you sow, you will reap. What you put down, that seed has to come up. A lot of times we get into Christ and we think he forgave us and everything's going to be perfect and now I've gotten away. You've lived however many years doing these things. You have to pay the consequences for those things. You are forgiven. You're not going to go to hell for it, but you're going to reap. And the sad thing, and it says in Galatians 6, verse 7, be not deceived. God is not mocked, for whatsoever, and that's the key, whatsoever a man sows, that shall he also reap. And any woman, whenever it says man and woman. So this is the thing, though. Many times when you have a loved one murdered, innocent, that was not into crime, because many times we'll have someone, and let's be honest, he was a thug, she was a troublemaker, and they were always messing with people and doing things to people, shooting up places and doing all this stuff, and then something happens to him and it's like, oh no, he was such a good boy. No, they were menaces to society, and it was bound to happen. But then you have people who are just, again, she was a college student. All she did was work, go home. She did the right thing, and she just got caught up in crossfire somewhere. Maybe she was at McDonald's and somebody came in to kill their ex-wife or something and she just got caught up. But a lot of times when that happens, you have to look at whose daughter was she? What is her bloodline? Because someone many times has committed murder. And when you commit murder, that is, if it doesn't hit you, it can hit a family member. It can hit someone in your lineage. A lot of times you see people, I've seen it, and it's a generational curse. And there's so many people. Mom just got murdered, and then the uncle gets murdered, and then you turn around and grandma's murdered. And that's not a coincidence. That's a seed that's been planted somewhere, and you have to see, where did it start? Who did it? You have to break that generational curse, because they have sown that seed, and it's there. And it may not have hit them, but it's hitting someone. That's how it works. When you see, this is why the point is, you have to be careful what you do. Many of you I'm speaking to, you have bodies on you that nobody knows about. You've killed people, you killed somebody, and you think you gotten away with it, but you never get away, because it's going to hit your daughter. I hear that. It's going to hit your daughter. Mm-hmm. Who was perfectly innocent. Well, someone murdered my daughter. Who did you murder? This is how it works. In 2 Samuel 12, and this doesn't go away. This is not something that goes away under Christ. This is something that's planted, and it's coming up. When you generally Bahaya, my God, 2 Samuel 12, verse 10, the backstory is that David, mind you, David is a prophet. David was called a man after God's own heart. God called David a man after my own heart. But yet and still, David had everything. He wanted Bathsheba. He saw her, he took her, he slept with her. She was a married woman, and he decided that he wanted to keep her. And Uriah, one of his soldiers, had done nothing wrong. He put him on the front line purposely for him to be killed. He wanted him to be killed so he could have Bathsheba. And in 2 Samuel 12:10, God sent his prophet Samuel to tell David, he said, now therefore the sword shall never depart from your house, because you have despised me and have taken the wife of Uriah the Hittite to be your wife. Before that, it says, wherefore hast thou despised the commandment of the Lord to do evil in his sight? Thou hast killed Uriah the Hittite with the sword, and has taken his wife to be your wife, and has slain him with the sword of the children of Ammon. So David didn't do it himself, but he purposely wanted them to put Uriah on the front line so the Ammonites could kill him. And so now he's being warned, prophesied to by God, by Samuel. God is speaking through Samuel to warn him. The sword, verse 10, shall never depart from your house. That means that and then if you study the Old Testament, you study King David, you'll see David had so many problems after that. One of his sons got killed. He had Absalom, I believe it was steady trying to kill him. It was problem after problem. One of his daughters was raped, and then Absalom waited and killed him. The sword never departed from David's house. And so you have not gotten away. And many of you need to think about what you're thinking about while you sitting there and just plotting revenge, and she did this to me. Okay, you may get away with it as far as the law of your city, your state, your whatever. They may not find you, but God sees you, and that seed has been planted. And many of you are dealing with it now. Someone I'm talking to, you just buried a son. Did you? Who murdered somebody? You? Was it you? Was it your father? You need to figure it out, and you need to go to God in prayer and get that broken off. If it's you, you need to repent, and because once that seed is planted, it's planted. But it can be uprooted, but you got to know what to do. But we'll talk more about that in part 3. So I hear God say, just do better because you live by the sword, you die by the sword. No one gets away. Have a blessed day.